Bruce Lee, the name alone conjures images of lightning-fast strikes, superhuman strength, and a martial arts legacy that still dominates pop culture today. But some of his real-life feats are so unbelievable, they sound like myths. Today we're diving into the wildest, most jaw-dropping Bruce Lee stories that prove he wasn't just a legend, he was something beyond human. In 1964, Bruce Lee fought Wong Jack Man in a brutal no-rules showdown. Not for fame, but for the right to teach martial arts his way. If Lee lost, he'd have to shut down his school. Witnesses say the fight lasted just 3 minutes. And when it was over, Bruce stood victorious. But the real kicker? He was so disappointed in his own performance that it pushed him to create his own fighting style. Bruce Lee's training was next-level insane. He punched so hard, he kept breaking standard punching bags. His solution? Custom-made gear filled with metal or sand. Even his wooden training dummy had to be reinforced. Because ordinary ones, they just couldn't handle him. Frustrated with traditional martial arts' slow, rigid techniques, Bruce invented Jeet Kune Do, a stripped-down, ultra-efficient combat system. Why? Because he wanted to end fights fast. And speaking of fast, at a 1964 exhibition, a Japanese karate master challenged Bruce. The result? Lee knocked him out cold in just 11 seconds. The crowd was stunned. The karate expert probably woke up wondering what hit him. Bruce's speed was legendary, so much so that filmmakers had to slow down his scenes. Standard 24 frames per second film couldn't fully capture his movements. They literally had to shoot at 32 frames just so audiences could see his punches. On the set of Enter the Dragon, an extra talked trash, claiming Bruce's moves were fake. Lee responded by telling him to put on pads and attack him for real. Seconds later, the extra was on the ground, humbled, and probably in pain. Even superheroes feared Bruce. When he guest starred on the 60s Batman show, his intensity terrified Burt Ward, Robin. Ward later said Lee's stare made him feel like prey. Steve McQueen and NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar weren't just fans. They were Bruce's students. McQueen even served as a pallbearer at Lee's funeral. And Kareem, he fought Bruce in Game of Death. And lost, obviously. When Sammy Davis Jr. as bodyguard tried to intimidate Bruce at a party, Lee dismantled him effortlessly. Davis was so impressed, he became a lifelong friend. Rumor has it, Bruce fled Hong Kong because a triad gang put a hit on him after he refused to pay protection money. Whether it's true or not, it adds to the mystique. Bruce was a health fanatic. No alcohol, insane workouts. But he did enjoy cannabis, calling it a liberator. He even wrote essays on its benefits. In one insane display, Bruce told an opponent exactly where and when he'd punch him, then landed 8 consecutive blows before the guy could react. That's not fighting, that's domination. Bruce hated how armpit sweat looked on camera, so he had his sweat glands surgically removed. Dedication or next-level vanity? You decide. His legendary 1-inch punch generated force equivalent to a car crash, 190 km/h of raw power. Victims said it felt like getting hit by a sledgehammer from an inch away. Bruce Lee wasn't just a martial artist. He was a force of nature, a man who redefined limits, shattered expectations, and left behind stories that still leave us in awe. So the next time someone says nobody's that good, just remember, Bruce Lee was. Which story blew your mind the most? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more unbelievable tales of legends.